Hey beautiful, welcome back. In today's video, girl, my birthday presents came in early. I got the 3 palettes from Juvia's place that I wanted. I picked up the Magic palette, the Masquerade Mini, and the Zulu palette, which has to be my favorite, I'll tell you what. Alright, so we are just going to do a quick once over on these palettes and a couple of swatches. I figured since I got all 3 of them in right now, we'll just take a quick look at them, and I will do some tutorials in a later video. Hey girl, why not make my day and hit them like and subscribe buttons down below before you go. Before you go. Before you go. Ooh, alright, baby doll, let's get rolling. I figure we could start off with the Magic palette. This was the first one that I got in, and I'm really digging the artwork on these palettes, girl. I love the whole tribal thing, and just, I've always been interested in that end of the world, and just looks so cool, doesn't it, though? This pretty lady comes with 16 different shades, everything from mattes to shimmers, and we got a satin down here. And I love that it comes with some pretty like blues and greens. We've got some pinks and purples, silvers, grays, blacks, reds, and just there's a whole mix of things right here. There literally is a shade in here for everybody and pretty much every look. Now, I wish it came with a couple of like in between mattes to kind of build depth and stuff. Some really pretty colors, so I'm totally digging it. This one right here, I know these two kind of look similar, but this is more of a like a reddish brown, like a burnt sienna, and then this one down here, girl, she's more like a bright pink red, and it is so pretty. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. I did some swatches for y'all, so let's bust those out. Woo, I'm blinding the camera right now. So this one right here is that lighter silver color, and it is so pretty. I'm not usually a fan of silver, but I'm really digging that one. Down here we got that unicorn purple blue. It's kind of a duochrome. This one's kind of similar too. It reminds me of those like strawberry gold coppery shades from the Carly by Belle palette and the Jaclyn Hill palette. So if you guys were really digging those shadows on those palettes from my other tutorials and such, this is pretty much the same thing. This right here is, oh my gosh, it is like, I love me some yellow gold, and this is like the most bright yellow, metallic yellow gold that I've ever seen. And up here are those two green and blue colors from the very bottom of the palette. And just, I am not even playing when I say that these are just so pigmented. And they pick up so easy, even on a brush. It's not just the swatches. They are really pretty shades. And actually here, I will show you a swatch just for the heck of it. Alright, so I'm going to take this pink one. Alright, just really quick. I swear to you, I barely touched it. And check this out. I'm barely touching my skin too. And it's like, it's still wrapping around my arm. There we go. And it does not take much with these shimmers. These have to be my favorite shimmers ever. They are so... And we are going to skip over to the Zulu palette. This one is by far my favorite of the 3. And let me show you why. Alright, so the design is really cute. I'm not totally digging that it's white because, girl, I already got it all messed up. Bam, girl. Bright colors all up in your face right now. I cannot get over just how pretty this palette is. It is smaller. It's only 9 shades. There's only 3 shimmers. The rest are mattes. But it is just so gorgeous because it feels like it's kind of rare to see super bright colors in palettes anymore. For the most part, I feel like it's all been warm tone neutrals, rose gold palettes, and maybe a pop or two of colors like we saw in the Jaclyn Hill palette, but nothing like this. So I swatched a couple of my favorites, and we got the 3 shimmers down here. This one is very similar to that to that strawberry gold that was in the Magic palette, but it's a little bit darker and a little bit more bronzy, I would say. This is just, bam, lime green, girl. Lime green. I am loving it so much. This is probably my favorite in this palette. And then this is kind of like a teal blue shimmer. And then I swatched a couple of my favorite mattes. This pink one, girl, I didn't even have to build it up or anything. It swatched like that. So it is like super bright. This orange and the yellow actually isn't all that bad, is it? Generally, I can't find a good yellow, and I don't even bother swatching it for these videos when I do, just because it never shows up as nice as that one does. So I was like over the moon impressed with this palette. And I feel like it's really easy to get like darker, colorful mattes, no problem, really pigmented and pretty. They look good on the eye, on the swatch. But when it comes to like brighter shades like we've got in here, for them to swatch so nicely, I was just like mind blown. Girl, I have been shooketh to death right here with this palette, and I am absolutely in love. Right, baby doll, last but certainly not least, I've got the Masquerade Mini as well. And again, I love the artwork that is on these palettes. And out of the three palettes that I got, I feel like this one is the most balanced of the three, and that is because it's got a good selection of colors, yes, but also neutrals. Plenty of warm tone neutrals to do everyday looks with. These two are amazing for inner corner and brow bone highlights, and I feel like the other two palettes don't really have like a color that you can use for your inner corner or brow bone. And everyday looks all day long, girl. Also, these shades are super pretty. I used this blue yesterday, and it is so true to what is in the pan. It's not even funny. Now, with this one though, I will say the only thing is that this purple, the pink, and this green right here didn't swatch or go on as like pigmented and bright as the other shades. I feel like the rest of the shimmers across the three palettes are a little bit dry, at least drier than what we come to expect, especially if you're like me and you're a big fan of Morphe and their shimmers, how like creamy and heavy they are. They are a little bit drier, but girl, you would not know it, I swear, because they go on so bright and colorful and beautiful. The dark blue that's down here that I'm using for my lower lash line liner today is actually very comparable to that dark blue that is in the Jaclyn Hill palette as well. This is the green that I said didn't really swatch as well as the others, and I think that's pretty obvious just by looking at my hand right now. I don't know why. It comes out like, it still looks pretty, but it's just not as like heavy and shimmery as the others. And then here's that pink. That pink is kind of it's a sparkly matte. It reminds me of like some of the mattes, the sparkly ones that are in the Jeffree Star palette, but this one doesn't swatch nearly as like heavily saturated with color as the mattes from the Zulu palette. However, this one still goes on really nice, and it is pretty true to color once it goes on the lid or the crease as well. So I don't really have any complaints there, and so digging these palettes, and they're just so bright and pretty, and pretty much all of the colors go on beautifully. So definitely I highly recommend them, and they are fairly affordable. This one, the smaller one, was about $18. This I believe was $25, though you can get the large one, which I believe is the same size as the Magic palette, and they are the same price. It's $35 for the big one. And they came out so nice. And I forgot to mention the pan size. And then really quickly before I forget, I just wanted to compare the pan sizes for you. So this in the Masquerade Mini, these pan sizes are about what you would expect for regular eyeshadows. So you're still getting a good bit of product with the mini size. But the pans in the Zulu palette and the Magic palette, and I could only assume the large Masquerade palette, are about the size of blush pans. So girl, there is just a ton of product in here. Even though it's 18 bucks for 9 shades, there's a lot of eyeshadow, honey. You ain't gonna hit pan in these anytime soon. And for that yellow to go on so nicely, woo, I am loving Juvia's place. Alright, baby cakes, that is it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and go out and spread some love and positivity today, because baby, we could all use some extra. For now, you're beautiful, and I love you. Mwah. Bye, everyone.